Hey there, if you're enjoying this podcast, please take a moment to leave a review and to follow or subscribe. Don't forget to share with anybody that you think might be interested. Your support is greatly appreciated. Word of mouth is incredibly powerful, and it's the best way for us to reach more people and grow this wonderful community. Thanks again for listening. Hey there, if you're enjoying this podcast, please take a moment to leave a review and to follow or subscribe. Don't forget to share with anybody that you think might be interested. Your support is greatly appreciated. Word of mouth is incredibly powerful, and it's the best way for us to reach more people and grow this wonderful community. Thanks again for listening. This is the Stop Time Podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Hopkins, and I'm here to engage you in thought-provoking, motivational conversations around practicing the art of living in the moment. I'm a certified life coach, and I'm excited to dig deep and offer insights into embracing who we are and where we are at. So my next guest was voted as one of Latina Magazine's 25 most beautiful Latino men. He is an accomplished and versatile performer, host and coach from Brooklyn, New York. He has joined the casts of many hit TV series, including, among others, The Morning Show on Apple TV. They're produced by Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston, NBC's popular grim and sinister royal henchman Marcus Rispoli, CBS's Tommy, the hit CBS all-access show Why Women Kill, starring Lucy Liu, Freeform's hit The Secret Life of American Teenager as Ruben Enriquez, and CBS's SEAL Team as CIA operative Greg Smith. Other credits include Modern Family, SWAT, Magnum PI, Shameless, 9/11, Good Trouble, The Mentalist, Madam Secretary, Queen of the South, 24, NCIS, New Orleans. You know what? Just turn on the TV.
Just stop right there. It's becoming obnoxious.
This is cool, though. He's also the voice of Sith. Is it Sith, or is that how you pronounce that?
Sith Inquisitor.
Yeah, okay. He's also the voice of Sith Inquisitor, fifth brother in Disney's popular animated series Star Wars Rebels, for which, he's also proud to be an action figure. I mean, come on. Oh, sidebar, Philip made his Broadway debut as Richie Valens in Buddy Holly story, for which he was honored, by the way, by the New York Drama League. He returned to Broadway in Tennessee Williams' Not About Nightingales, directed by Tony Award winner Trevor Nunn. He is the Spanish-speaking and singing voices of Elmo and Telly Monster on Sesame Street Beginnings, and that thrills me. It just, I don't know, it makes me really happy. Mm-hmm. It is with my great pleasure to introduce you to Philip Anthony Rodriguez. Phil, thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, Lisa. So wonderful to see you after all these years.
Yes, indeed. And it's great to know that you are still killing it out there.
I'm trying to kill as best as possible.
You know, you can tell just by reading the bio, and we were laughing about the bio, right? You're like threw it together and whatever, but it's so clear. I mean, I'm guessing you love your work.
A little bit. I'm going on now 40 plus years of being in the entertainment industry as a professional. So clearly, if I don't like it by now, I have issues. Or love it, I should say, by now. There are many things that feed my soul, that I have a real passion for, that I absolutely love doing. And being in show business is by far one of them. So,
yeah. What do you think it is that you love about it? What stuff means to one person is, it means something different to another. What is it for you? And maybe that's changed. I don't know.
No, I mean, the one constant, and again, my origins, my beginnings were in theater. And I know I probably sound cliche, but it's that rush that you get from being able to connect with an audience and have them and yourself as an actor, performer, just escape for like a couple of hours each night and take the audience away to a different place. And then as an actor, performer, feeling that satisfaction when they applaud at the end of the show. Which is essentially saying, not just great job, thank you for taking me away, but helping me think about things in a different way, beyond just entertaining me. Because let's face it, we're out there for escapism, to entertain people. People have long days, and they have stressful days sometimes, and it's like they want to go see a movie to get away from it all. I need to unwind. Everything is unwind. It's a human necessity, and without it, I think we're in trouble as a society. It's part of our therapy, and it serves its purpose, and that's it, among other things.
Actors provide that platform, that permission for the people that are taking in what they are giving to feel.
Yeah. And oftentimes people forget, whether we're talking about theater or dance or opera or television or film, it's a collaborative effort. There are many people involved with bringing that entertainment, that satisfaction to the individual, to the audience.
Yeah.
So it's like, I may be the actor, I may be the catalyst, the tool that's actually out there on the stage or in front of the camera performing. But let's not forget the director. Let's not forget the lighting designer. Let's not forget the writer, the lyricist, the composer. It's a team effort. It's a team effort. And that's also another aspect of our industry that I love on the whole. That sense of family, of unity, of like, hey, we're all bringing something to the table here. And it's always, hopefully, you hope, something special.
Can you paint a picture for us of what the rhythm of your days is like at this moment?
Being an actor and having that be my career, it can be pretty erratic, or it changes from one day or 1 week to the next. But by and large, especially with the fact that, Cindy and I have a 4-year-old little boy, it's getting him up in the morning and, Monday through Friday, waking him up, making sure that he's all cleaned up, brushing his teeth, going potty and all that stuff, getting his breakfast done, lunch, and off to school. And then I go about my day the way I go about my day. A side effect of the pandemic has been the uptick in at-home, self-tape auditions, because casting offices just aren't seeing people anymore. That's become the status quo, and there's pluses and minuses to that. So there'll be days when I do that. But there's nothing even remotely routine about it, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It's routine, but it's not, because every day I wake up, I'm just happy to be alive, first and foremost. And I know it sounds corny, but I'm blessed because I have like a wonderful family. We're all healthy, knock on wood. And that's another thing that many of us do or don't take for granted these days, obviously, with the circumstances being with the way they are with this pandemic.
You don't strike me as it be needing to be very rigid and organized. And when it's not, you feel like, oh my God, I have to fill it. I'm not hearing that at all. I'm hearing sort of a trust the process. Things come in and come out. This is the way it is. And so I'm going to flow. I mean, it sounds like flow to me.
Bullseye. It's, every day is different. And like I said, I've been doing this, meaning like the way I approach, and don't get me wrong. I mean, it hasn't been like all, rosy for those 40 plus years of being in the entertainment industry. I've been by and large blessed enough to say, okay, I've made this my career. I haven't really needed to get those side jobs or think about a different career path, or, I've had those moments. I've had those really dark times and the valleys that come alongside the peaks. Make no mistake, but by the same token, by and large, I've been lucky and blessed enough to say, all right, this is good. And I socked away enough cash that even though things are pretty tough right now, we can weather the storm. Yeah. Every day is aspects of it are routine, and then other aspects of it are like, not routine. And sometimes, as sometimes we get thrown curves, where it's just like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting that, or that was very last minute, or, okay, I need to do that and, adjust accordingly. I used to get bent out of shape with that kind of stuff and get frustrated. And it's like, are you kidding me? They want this due now, and what? And it's like, all right, rewind. Let's take it a step back. And I've learned to do that. I've learned to not get so heated or upset or bent out of shape when something happens that isn't the normal way of things happening. Last minute audition, or, hey, this is we're auditioning you for a series regular on a major television show. Here's 10 pages of size that you need to learn, and it needs to be due by tomorrow. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How sneaky, how inconsiderate. Don't these casting directors and people think about that? And then it's just like excuse. And it's like, I mean, damn it, I'm a professional. In spite of the fact that those things would irk me. But again, I've learned to say, hey, if I react that way, there's going to be somebody else who was auditioning for the same thing who's going to look at it and say, "Here's what it is. Just got to do my best. I just got to do my best. It's not ideal, but I'm going to do my best." Because getting all bent out of shape and flipping out serves nobody. It serves no purpose except to just make you all flustered and frustrated. And that's the last thing you want to do when you want to prepare for something and be your best.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, and that's like the heart of the work that I do, which is about where we choose to respond rather than react, how we choose to respond rather than react, and that it's by choice, not by default.
Right.
And that we understand that all those voices that rush in, give ourselves a little grace because we're hardwired. That's fear. That's going, you're not going to be ready. You're not going to be as good as you can. But what it does is it holds you back.
Yeah.
Takes energy away from the fact that you're going to do it anyways. I mean, it's one thing if you're just going to make the choice to not do it. No, I choose not to do it because I cannot present myself in the way. But if you're going to do it anyways, then why on earth divide your energy?
Sure.
When actually you need all that support.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that again, this has a lot to do with age, experience, and my maturity factor, if you want to even talk about that. But when you say something like you can make the choice to not do it, there's one way of approaching it, which is like, well, I don't have the time to prepare it the way I want to, so I'm going to politely decline. What I used to do was a no approach to it. It's like, I'm going to stick it to them, so I'm not going to do this. The hell with them, which is like, that's just childish. Yeah. But I would do that. That would be my thought process. I wouldn't say it out loud, but that would be my thought process. Like, F them. I'm not going to go about it this way. And again, what purpose does that serve? So I had to learn how to just not be in that mindset. And honestly, I got it from all sides to say, you need to kind of change your thinking about this. And even my manager, to some extent, who I've known for just almost as many years as I've been, a professional actor. She pointed that out to me too. She's like, listen, that's the way these things are. So you have to either accept it, roll, ride that wave, and roll with the punches, or you can be flustered and upset and irritated by this as much as you want, but see how far it'll get you. And once I flipped that perspective, it was a straight shot. Everything was going up.
Yeah.
So
how did you do that? Do you remember was there a pivotal moment or?
I had people call me out on it. Yeah. Just say like my manager was just like, you're being an asshole. You're being an idiot. Okay, I get it. You're pissed off. You're frustrated and things like that. But here's a thought. Why don't you go from this perspective? Or I would talk to other friends and express how I felt about the whole thing, and they would say the same thing. They'd be like, "So what? So what? So what? They sent it to you last minute. What are you gonna do? Not work? You're gonna just like not accept things or bitch about it?" And, just to satisfy a point that you're trying to make. And then where are you going to be at after that? You're going to be jobless and, without an opportunity to show what you can do. So it was just good friends, family members calling me out on it. and that's what friends and family are for. The good ones, the ones that will, be brave and strong enough to say, I'm telling you this because I love you, knock it off or whatever. It's like an intervention-y type thing.
I love that. But that's an amazing distinction, because I was going to ask you, and you kind of almost clarified it for me just then. And I'm so into distinctions, but the distinction between like the reason why you did it. I understand that, somebody could be told, listen, you're being an asshole, you're not going to work. And then you could go, oh, shit, I'm not going to work. I better change my attitude. That's one thing. Mm-hmm. But I heard you loud and clear, your value and connection to the people you love and showing up as the human that you want to be with the people that you love, which, yes, does allow you to work. But if it was only that, if they came to you, if someone, some random person came to you and said, if you're an asshole, you're not going to work, I don't think it wouldn't be sustainable, a mindset shift.
Yeah, for sure. And, like I said, as old as I am right now, it's, we all do, at least as if we accept the fact that we're always learning and changing and trying to adapt and adjust and improve till the day we leave this earth.
Yeah.
And that's another perspective that I have. I don't claim or put myself out to be a know-it-all because of my age and my experience and my maturity.
Yeah.
Like I said, Cindy and I have a beautiful 4-year-old healthy little boy. And there's so many things that little boy teaches us about, like, myself, about life. And, I try to be a good dad. I know this sounds corny too, but I know I'm not all there. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but, I want to learn from those mistakes so that I can be the best dad for him possible. And I had a great dad. I had a fantastic dad who he had a great life. Cancer took him away almost, it's like 2022. So we're talking like 7 years ago, but he lived a good life till he was 80. And he probably could have lived a lot longer were it not for stage 4 brain cancer. And he fought really hard, but I love that guy because I learned so much from him, and he was tough on me, and he called me on my shit when I was a spoiled know-it-all teenager with a real attitude, and he would call me on it. And in hindsight, I respect him for that because I so was glad that he did that with me. Because it straightened me out. It straightened me out. I just try to emulate him as much as I can. All those positive things, I cherry pick. There's some things that I don't do that my dad did. We knew he loved us. So we knew in our own heads, even when we were young kids, that he loved us, and he would say it in the car. He wouldn't be comfortable like necessarily saying it out loud. But, that's the one thing that I'm sort of like different from my dad. I say, hey, Zane, I love you. Daddy loves you very much. Say things like that. I love you too, Dad. And it just makes my day. That just everything, all the negative, yucky, I had a shitty day or whatever. And he says that, I'm done. It's like, that's all I need. So, yeah, it's a challenge. It's a real challenge. And sometimes I'm just like, oh man, am I doing this right? And I'm like, I just get worried. And sometimes I get a little bit helicopter-y, helicopter parent. Am I doing too much? Am I being too safe with him? Am I being too lax? And it's like, oh man, it's the ultimate mind F,
Yep. I do know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can relate because we're both parents, and
no, for sure.
It's crazy. So
it's so interesting. I'm just curious for a minute to see what that family makeup was with your wonderful dad and your siblings. How many siblings?
I'm the youngest of 5 kids. I have 3 older brothers, and then my sister is the oldest out of all of us.
Okay.
And there's about a 10-year difference. There's a 10-year difference between my oldest sister and me, and I'm the youngest, like I said.
Okay. And were you the only one that pursued the arts of all of you, or?
Yes, that really, really pursued it. My one of my older brothers, my brother Andy, he's, the crazy thing about it is that he's the most artistically gifted out of all of us. He's a self-taught musician. He's an excellent artist. Like, he can paint and sketch and do all these types of things. He's very creative. He's got major right brain thing going on. Way, way, way more blessed and artistically talented than I am. But I was the only one in the family who, went that route, who was the rebel, for lack of a better word. But I got support. I really got support from both my parents. They were never like, oh no, that's crazy, you shouldn't do that, blah, 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 blah. They were very supportive, albeit a little bit apprehensive and concerned, as would any parent be. So they just want to make sure that I'm okay, that I have a way to make a living, and that I'm not struggling financially and all that stuff. So, but there was a little bit of like my father living vicariously through me, because he wanted to be an actor, performer, and all that stuff, and he couldn't do it because he had 5 mouths to feed. And he made a conscious decision to say, no, this is more important, can't do it anymore. So any of my successes, he absolutely adored it. Absolutely. And that just made me even more happy. The fact that he was able to appreciate what I was doing, my successes, as well as my failures in showbiz in general. And, thank God, I mean, he was able to see a lot of like my major peak moments, my successes before he did pass away. He got to see me on Broadway. He got to see me on TV numerous times. And he would always ask, how did that audition go? Oh, you didn't get it? It's okay. Those idiots don't know what they're thinking. They're their loss. And he would have that mentality. It's like, what? You'd have been perfect for that. And then, if I booked it, he'd be like, hey, I knew it. I knew you were going to get it, and stuff like that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
How old were you when you left New York? Because you were there for a bit on Broadway, and then
very young. So when I went away to college. I went to SUNY Purchase, and I was in there for like my first 2 years, and then I dropped out in my sophomore year. Basically after my spring semester sophomore year. So I did a full sophomore year before I decided to hit the road, hit the pavement, hit the ground running. And a lot of that was just like, me having the feeling that what I was doing there wasn't really right for me. I wanted to really hit the pavement. I was already a professional actor at that time, working, not doing big gigs and stuff like that, but I was a working actor. So I made that decision that I was just like, I just want to delve into this, full throttle. And as soon as I left, it was a struggle. I had saved up a pretty good amount of money with the money that I was making from commercials and bookings as a young kid to sock away to get me out to the West Coast. The first time I came out, it was really horrible. Not a lot of stuff going on here. There was an earthquake that happened in LA, which, really threw things out of whack industry wise. And I just kind of hit a brick wall when I came out here. Wasn't ready for it. Came back to New York. And as soon as I did, within like 2 or 3 months, I got the European tour of West Side Story, which was my, first kind of grown up professional on my own gig that I got. And that was an experience. That was probably to this day one of the best, most fulfilling experiences, life experiences that I have had in my life. Not just a life experience, not just from my own perspective as a person, but professionally as well. I was just turned 20. I was 19. I just turned 20. So I was a baby, I was a baby. And then I did that for about a year. I was thinking about staying for a year, and my manager said, absolutely not. Get back to New York. You're gonna do more stuff here. And I was like, but really, I'm making good money. You're coming back to New York. And it was the best advice she had ever given me, because like 2 months after that, I got Richie Valens and Buddy the Buddy Holly Story. And then after that, it was just pretty much like up and up, it was a pretty good roller coaster ride from then on.
I'm so curious to know, pre-pandemic, there were certain systems that we had in place, right? What systems did you have in place that you still take with you? What systems did you discover that you're going to now extract and continue on? Which ones don't serve you anymore? What shifted for you?
Oh boy. The one thing that sticks out to me the most was that the pandemic forced me to be, not forced me, I shouldn't say that. A side effect of the pandemic was that it made me more resourceful. Obviously things were rough because there wasn't anything going on show business wise, and pretty much just in general, that, I'm like, oh God, how am I going to make money? Do I have enough to cover my back? Thankfully, I was working so much pre-pandemic that I was able to collect unemployment and things like that. So those things helped. And then you had the pandemic relief. So that really gave me that even better cushion from the max that I was getting paid from unemployment. But it really just forced me to say, all right, I don't have much here. How am I going to, keep the cupboards full of food and things like that? And how am I going to pay? All these things just really made me more aware and self-aware, and more proactive. I was in that mindset of like, well, if I don't do these things, ain't nobody going to do them for me. So I think there was a certain comfort level, a certain autopilot mode that I'll speak for myself, that I was enjoying or living through, that the pandemic then made me say, all right, you really got to stay on top of yourself and watch your health and do these things, because nobody's going to do them for you. Nobody's going to come to the rescue and things of that nature. But there was a real kind of like self-awareness that I was really experiencing, enjoying, discovering. And the self-awareness was gratitude for being healthy, gratitude for what I already have in life, and that the things that I love and people that I love and care about were all doing well, and that we would check in. Gratitude for that connection that I had with people, that we were caring for each other, that, and you could probably relate to this, because it's not unlike New York, how it was when 9/11 happened. Everyone was like this.
Yeah.
And everyone in New York was like, are you okay? You okay? Whatever you need, I got your back. Okay. It was a sense of community again. It was a sense of like, let's all take care of each other, because if we don't take care of each other, who is? So the pandemic in a lot of ways brought about those same emotions, those same dynamics. And it was great. It was really refreshing to know that, that our humanity was becoming apparent again. That if nothing else, I mean, as horrible as it was, what the pandemic did for me, again, speaking for myself, was bring about that sense of humanity.
Yeah. What you described sounded to me like, it's not that you were going through life being ungrateful, but you were going through life so quickly, probably because things go well, that you didn't take the moment to savor it. It's like until something's taken away from you.
Yeah. Exactly. And that happened in spades with everything that I was experiencing. And I think that's a good point that you brought up, because you lose sight of the fact of what you got already, and it's like you don't want to lose that stuff. And things got really scary there, really scary, sketchy. Definitely those feelings of hopelessness and, oh, is this it? And this is very Twilight Zone-y, very Black Mirror stuff going on right now. When things did get sketched there, you do focus on the things that you have, and you cherish them, and you don't want to lose them. You don't want to lose them.
Yeah. What's your definition of living in the moment?
I really try to focus on the present. It's definitely a struggle for me, but I try to live in the present and just focus on what's going on right now, what I can not necessarily control, but what I can see, what's tangible in my life for now. That for me is living in the moment.
Yeah.
You can plan for the future. You can dwell on the past, however positive or negative it was. And I was like, I wish I'd done that better, but having, learning a lesson from your past and dwelling on it are two vastly different things.
Indeed.
That's why I like to just be as present and aware and as self-aware in the present as much as possible, and enjoy that moment, or savor it, or, trudge through it if the present is not so great.
Let me ask you this. Think about somebody that truly admires you.
Mm-hmm.
And if I asked this person, what they admire about you, what would they be telling me?
My humor, sense of humor. I kind of have like a, goofball sense of humor. This person that just came to mind, that if you were to ask them, it's like, oh, he makes me laugh. And I could be having the shittiest day and he'll say something and it'll make me laugh. And that to me makes me feel good, that I'm able to provide that to just even one person, And, I like to be kind. Zane and I were at the market, and, anytime Zane and I are out, it's always like playful, and we goof around and we do all kinds of fun stuff that, a lot of fathers and sons do at the same, times. And we're about to leave, and I've got the bags, with Zane in tow. And this woman just randomly comes up to me, and she just came out of nowhere and just said, I don't usually do this. I just want to say, you're just so lovely with your son. Because I guess she was watching me, the way we were interacting with each other while we were just waiting in line. So she was about 2 people behind me or something like that. Unbeknownst to me, she was watching how I was with him. We were playing with each other, and he would say things and I would laugh, and I would say something and he would laugh. I'm paraphrasing here, but she said something to the extent of like, if your son ever becomes the father you are, yeah, exactly. I mean, I was just like, I was like, that's the most beautiful thing you ever said or that I've ever heard. But Lisa, it came out of nowhere. I was just like, this doesn't happen. How random is that? But I tell you, it just made my day, because I wasn't expecting it. And it was just so nice for someone to just come out of left field, just out of sheer desire, just share that with me. And it was great. And I was like, faith restored in humanity. I mean, not only that it just felt good hearing that it was really nice, that it was genuine and it was heartfelt, it was sincere, but it made me feel good. And even Zane was just like, who was that lady, Daddy? And I'm like, I don't know, Zane, but I just am.
But Daddy, she made you cry. No, it's Daddy, good crying.
She made a single solitary tear like a la Denzel Washington come down your face like that. So it's beautiful. Things like that. Yeah, exactly. It just, you hear stuff like that, it just makes your day. And it's not that I was having a particularly shitty day that morning, nothing like that. I was like, I was having a horrible day, and this lady come up and said something like that. It just adds to what is already there, this abundance of gratitude.
Totally. And what's really cool about that, and I love that I don't know that you're overlooking it, but it says a lot about you and how generous you are, just receiving this moment and it bringing you joy, which is gorgeous. But you created that joy by being joyful with your son.
Yeah.
And so you were seen. And so it's just literally the co-creation of connection, of joy, of the essence of humanity, right? I mean, that was that moment.
Yeah. It's and again, it's just in my nature to be that way. There's no pretentiousness in that interaction that I have with Zane or anybody else for that matter. Again, with age and with time, I've learned to just accept with, being myself and being comfortable with that. I am who I am, and it's like, take me or leave me, all my pluses and minuses. This is me, and you hope that by and large it's something that the people around you that love you or around you, it's positive enough that they enjoy having you around. That makes any sense.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. I asked you on the preform, I asked you what stands between you and who you want to be. How does that manifest for you?
Again, when I was younger, looking back in hindsight at a lot of the misses that that I've had in life. Again, not looking at it from a regret perspective, just a life lesson perspective. I've learned to just say, listen, any future successes or any new things that you're going to learn in life, things that you're going to tackle, challenges that you're going to accept and overcome and all that stuff, it's all up to me. It's, if I want to learn something new or go to school again, I'm going to be the impetus. It's I'm the actual one that's out there making the conscious decision to say, I want to do this. I want to learn that. I want to improve on that. I want to challenge myself to do this. I want to, be a better that. I want to be less of that, less of that thing that I don't want to be anymore. It's me. I'm the common denominator, and that's not always easy.
What stands out to me that's really unique about you, when you look at your bio and the different types of work that you do, talk to me about the diversity of your resume and all the things you've done and do.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I want to do as many things as I can. I want to have knowledge and be in as many different genres as I can to give myself the opportunity to not just work, but make money doing so, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
So when I would start that learning process, it was early on when I was realizing that I didn't want to stand pat, being like what they call the triple threat. I could sing, dance, and act. And that's why I was doing so much musical theater and regular theater in my origins in New York. But, I knew that I wanted not just more, but I really had more of a different path. As much as I loved doing theater and live theater, and what was also feeding my soul was being in front of a camera. And then that turned into like, I'm really getting seen for a lot of these things that involve like action and stuff like that. And so then that would segue into me taking martial arts classes or Western style boxing and stuff like that, because it's like, okay, I'm doing a lot of this stuff where it's action. I want to look good doing that. So I would start training with these boxing instructors or martial arts people. It was always that desire to say, okay, this is good, but if I learn that, I can do more of this. And if I add that to my resume, I can do more of that. And that's where the diversity comes from, that just that desire to just expand the horizons, the proverbial horizons with learning. And I still do that to this day,
Hey, what do you think, if there were no arts, God forbid, in the world for whatever reason, what would you do? What do you think you would do?
I don't know. Probably, I would do something involving like food, because even though I'm not that good a cook, I actually went to, took a couple of cooking classes and stuff like that years ago. So I would probably be doing something related to that, whether, I'm a chef or a short order cook, or, a maitre d' at a really nice restaurant or something like that, or a manager of a food place, or a bartender or a mixologist or something like that, because it coincides with this desire for me to give and as actors and performers, one of the perspectives I have is when I'm performing, I'm entertaining. So I'm giving something. I'm giving my ability to entertain to someone, and hopefully they like it, or they're pleased with what I do. Well, in much the same way, if I'm making something that makes people's belly feel good, then that makes me feel good. Oh, you like what I cooked you? Great. That's awesome. You like that drink I made you? Oh, that makes me so happy. Here, I'll make you another one. So
totally.
That's probably like the first thing that comes to mind. That's probably what I would be doing if no arts existed. But thankfully, arts do exist, and I'm a real big proponent of that. It makes me absolutely insane when government and school districts and take away programs and arts programs. And Lisa, you know as well as I do how incredibly beneficial and important and necessary arts is for kids. So it's like when you take that shit away, it's like, come on, man, you're really eating away at a core need for a society to be not just a good society, but a thriving, successful society. And if we don't have arts, it's like we're done.
Well, hell yeah. So, how do you want to be remembered?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, this is, gosh, I guess I want to be remembered as someone who cared. I care. I care. I care about how well people did. I care about how society on the whole is doing, and how generous I tried to be. with, my time, my love for people, my propensity to want to give. I guess that's how I'd like to be remembered. Yeah, Phil was generous. He was kind and he was generous,
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And loving. Is that too much?
No, and funny. They'll say that anyways, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Except, and this is something that a lot of performing parents have to deal with it. It's like we could be like the funniest, most entertaining person to any Joe Schmo out there, Jane Doe out there in public. Oh my God, I saw you on Bobby, you're hilarious and stuff like that. And then to the one person where it matters most, where you try to be funny with your own child, and he looks at you like deadpan, like you have three heads, like, get out of my face, you're stupid. Or it's not what he's saying, but that's the look that he's giving you. It's like, I'm giving you my best stuff. And it's like, yeah, Dad, it's not funny. And there's just, as well as I do, that there's probably going to be more of that. It's like, you're embarrassing, Dad.
Totally. You're not making it very easy for your son who's growing up with a dad who was not only voted like the most beautiful man in the world or whatever, but also has an action figure.
I know. Well, I worry about that too. I really worry. I shouldn't say worry about it. Concern is a better word. It's like, God, I'm wondering how this is going to pan out. And I'm not a celebrity, but I work enough that, people will recognize me on the street and stuff like that. As it relates to Zane, he's still too young, but I wonder how it's going to manifest itself in him when he sees that. And, whether it'll be like, oh, Dad does that. That's cool. Or it's like, oh my God, this is embarrassing. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But I've heard other, people in show business talk about that.
I'm reminded of the story you told me about the woman that stopped you in the store or pointed out how you were being with Zane and how beautiful that was, right? Mm-hmm. And it's amazing how differently that could have gone if it was a fan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's got to be really hard to navigate. You can't control what other people do. It's tricky. So thank God you're experiencing some of those things with him, just being recognized for being wonderful with him.
Yeah.
So most people think Philip Anthony Rodriguez is, but the truth is.
About me?
Yeah. So finish the phrase, right? So most people think Philip Anthony Rodriguez is, but the truth is, ... Boy,
you asked some really good toughies. I mean, oh man, I would think, again, and I'm only relating it to what I do as a career and stuff, that I'm self-centered sometimes. And the reality is, it's just like, I couldn't be more like self-conscious sometimes, or modest in being able to express how, or boastful. It's just not, that's just not in my nature to do that. But I guess it's sometimes my confidence, and we talked about this earlier, might read as just like, well, who the hell does he think he is? When it's just like, that's vastly different from self-love and self-pride and being confident about what you're able to do. So I would say, no, I'm not self-centered. I mean, the complete opposite is true. I just, I like who I am as a person by and large, and I like what I'm putting out there. I have a good positive energy. But I don't know. Again, I know it sounds like a broken record. I don't know if that makes sense to you as an answer.
No, it makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
Clear, yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean,
that's the only thing that I'm. If I had about, I don't know, maybe about 120 seconds to really dwell. But I think that's the first thing that comes to mind. That's the one that went, okay, that's the only thing that kind of pops into my head with that question.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I don't know if you have any data to support that. Maybe you do. or if it's your perception of what you think other people might think your weaknesses are, et cetera. Like it's funny how that goes.
Yeah, it's probably solely my own perspective.
Yeah, so that's not how you would like to be perceived.
Right. Yeah.
Because you don't feel that way at all. Yeah.
In the past, and sometimes to some extent, I still do it on occasion today. I project the hell out of stuff. I wasn't thinking that, Phil. I wasn't, like, really? I just misread you or something like that. But again, those instances are few and far between where I'm really projecting.
That's interesting.
And I think I get that. That's certainly that's a personality trait that I got from my mom. And it wasn't like of epic proportions with her, but especially like in her older age, she would get a little bit paranoid about what people were thinking or doing. I'm like, nothing could be further from the truth. Like we would all say it. It's like, oh man, that mom does that. I'm starting to do that shit. I better keep tabs on that.
Well, it's interesting because it's a defense mechanism, isn't it? I mean, we project because you'd rather say you're thinking this so that you're facing it before. Right. Yeah.
And the thing is that generationally it diminishes because my grandmother, her mother had that stuff and it was crazy. It's like that you could be like, she's out to get me. She's trying to destroy me or something like that. Like, what? No, my sweet grandmother, nothing. And my mom would tell her, and it's like, and she'd roll her eyes and she'd be like, I don't know what to do. She's crazy. She's going on and on about this.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. So I say, what makes you? And I say a word and you just let me know. It doesn't have to be fast. It can be if you want. I mean, up to you. Okay. So, okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. What makes you hungry?
Oh, you mean like not physically? Oh, okay. So yeah, okay, it is that ambiguous. Oh man! Oh, what makes me hungry? What makes me hungry?
I'd love to be in your head right now. So, is there a fight going on in there between?
Seriously, like I'm swimming right now. My 3% of my brain use is swimming right now. I say that because we, supposedly we only use 3% of our brains. Mm-hmm. Oh gosh. Oh, the unknown. Unknown, the unexpected makes me hungry. Yeah.
That's cool. So do you find that fortifies you? Like, when you're hungry, sometimes people get hangry when they're hungry. Like some people get irritated, some people get, so when you feel hungry for something like that, how does that show up for you?
Oh man, I just want to, I want to meet that hunger. I want to satisfy that hunger. A complementary word could be like craving. I also crave wanting to see this project or see that movie. I crave wanting to go to this class because, I could learn so much about that. I'm going to do this, So I think that's what I meant by unexpected. There's a pleasantness, there's an excitement that comes from the unexpected. Be surprised. If I know what's coming, then it's like, what's the point? When you get on a roller coaster ride, it's really scary. Okay, great. Let me find out for myself. You sure you want to get on that roller coaster? Okay. I'm gonna come hell or high water. I'm going on this roller coaster, and I get on it, and the first 2 seconds, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack, and then the next remaining 30, I'm just like, this is the best thing ever. Yeah. So, it's that joy and the thrill and rush that you get from the unexpected. I think that's what makes me hungry. And that's everything.
What makes you sad?
Oh boy. I guess it's disappointing people. It makes me sad when I'm either through my actions or inaction, someone's saddened by what I did or didn't do. Does that make sense? Because it can be both. It's like, well, you didn't do this, so now I'm sad. Or you did this, that really made me sad. And when I see that in people's eyes, I get really sad. or when I sense the disappointment in people, that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Do you get sad when you can't fix something that you want to fix for somebody?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because by nature, I'm a giver. I'm a fixer. I want to be able to, provide and be there for people, not at, risking my own self or my taking care of myself. But, I'm the type of person who derives more pleasure from Christmas time, sitting around the Christmas tree, giving gifts and seeing them open up that gift than me opening up something that someone's gotten me. Now, that's not to say that I don't enjoy getting gifts or having nice things done for me, but that sheer joy that I get from seeing my kid opening up a gift or wrapping something like that, and I was able to give him that.
For sure. No, thank you for sharing that. What inspires you?
People inspire me. It's where I get my my power, my ammunition to do what I do when I'm auditioning for something or when I'm auditioning for a role or trying to create a character.
What frustrates you?
For the same reason that I'm inspired by humanity, I'm also perturbed and disturbed and frustrated with society's ills. We don't have to have the climate issues that we're having right now. We don't have to have homelessness. We don't have to have children hungry, which really makes me upset. And it's because of things we can fix. And it just frustrates me that we're not taking into account our children and our children's children and our future. Yeah. That's what frustrates me.
No, absolutely. What makes you laugh?
People who find humor and who can find humor brilliantly in just everyday observances. Life's funny, or life can be funny. That's what I appreciate. I can appreciate when people see the humor in everything.
Yeah, well, it's healing, right? I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
It's healing.
What makes you angry?
Meanness. I don't like when people are mean and vindictive.
So finally, my friend, what makes you grateful?
Oh, gosh. Being alive. And I think that really becomes more apparent or more in the forefront as the older we get, because we start coming to the realization that our time here on Earth is very limited, that is finite. So I'm grateful that I'm healthy, that I'm able to get up out of bed and have beautiful, loving family and children. There's a lot of love in this house. So grateful for that.
Finally, what are the top 3 things that have happened so far today?
Gosh, I mean, like I said, we just moved in and we're living in a pretty nice, slamming place. Again, grateful, a lot of gratitude for being able to live where I'm at, but just to be able to walk in here and be like in a nice neighborhood. It's quiet, it's peaceful. I loved getting up in the morning and getting, Zane ready for his day and for his school and stuff. I get excited about that. And once I drop Zane off at school, the 20 minutes to a half an hour that I have in coming back home, but just to be able to say, oh, this is great. It's just me and myself in my car. I can do anything I want. I can listen to anything I want. I don't have to listen to like kitty songs or anything like that. This is my realm. This is my time. I can do with it whatever I want. And just to be able to have that every now and then is just like, yes, alone.
What are you most looking forward to? Just either today or in general? Do you have something that you're sort of really looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to the next project I'm working on. I mean, I get anxious in a good way when there's the possibility of me doing something new and different, Yeah. And that, I mean, specifically when it comes to acting, and everything that comes with that, again, the excitement, the unexpectedness, what's to come, hopefully if it pans out, hopefully there'll be a nice, that financial reward, because with the financial reward, then comes the things that I can do for my family and for myself and all that stuff. And do the things that we love to do, which is like get things for people. And do things for them.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Phil, it has been such a pleasure speaking with you today. Thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care. Okay. You be safe, okay?
Yeah,
Bye.
You too. Bye. I've been speaking today with Philip Anthony Rodriguez. Thanks for listening. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. And remember to live in the moment. In music, stop time is that beautiful moment where the band is suspended in rhythmic unison, supporting the soloist to express their individuality. In the moment, I encourage you to take that time and create your own rhythm. Until next time, I'm Lisa Hopkins. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, I invite you to dive deeper into cultivating a life of creative possibilities with my new book, The Places Where There Are Spaces. It's filled with personal stories and insights to help you embrace living in the moment. You can grab your copy by following the link in the show notes or wherever books are sold. Let's keep the conversation going and growing. If you enjoyed this episode, I invite you to dive deeper into cultivating a life of creative possibilities with my new book, The Places Where There Are Spaces. It's filled with personal stories and insights to help you embrace living in the moment. You can grab your copy by following the link in the show notes or wherever books are sold. Let's keep the conversation going and growing.